Authentic leadership in particular is very much emphasizes the notion of vision. To go somewhere, you have to have a vision of where you're going. And I think this, by the way, is where you start really getting a difference between leadership and management. There's a tremendous difference between having a vision and having a target. So managers generally have a target, and very often that target, though, is about an attempt to essentially achieve some level of efficiency, some level of productivity. And you're often trying to, keep something within, a certain boundary. We say managers are essentially dealing with the present and a sort of short-term future. And it's a necessary skill. But leadership is generally about change, about, again, a vision is a big change. Vision usually creates a large gap from where you are versus where you're trying to get to. And you can see very, very readily the importance of, and then the connection between leadership and change, because if you look around the world today, we're in this so-called financial crisis. There's big change going on that sort of reverberates throughout the whole financial world. And many of the companies, certainly that I work with, that I have connections with, they're changing a lot. I was at a leadership summit earlier this year, at the end of January, and there was one of the human resource directors from Volvo was saying, they had basically reduced their workforce by about 50%. So that's a big change. And when you have that kind of big change, that's where people need and begin to feel a need for leadership. That's where they look around for a leader, because things are uncertain. It's not managing the known, it's actually managing the unknown. You're going into uncertain territory. And when the territory is uncertain, when there is big change, when there is upheaval, that's where, again, we feel the need for leadership. And for me, that includes self-leadership as much as leading others. So, again, this notion of vision also becomes particularly important in times of change, especially in the so-called crisis times. You have a tendency to have an equal share, an equal portion of danger and opportunity. There's that old story about the Chinese character for crisis is the combination of danger and opportunity. However, very often what happens, and this is that kind of difference between management and leadership, when we focus on the danger, the natural response is to go into what are called survival strategies. Survival strategies are, attack something, retreat, or freeze. Which oftentimes becomes paralysis. So either you freeze things, you stop things, you retreat, or you attack. And all of those are essentially about trying to preserve what you have. And what leadership is about is saying, okay, yes, there's the danger, but there's also the opportunity. We've got to take advantage of the opportunities. And one of the big problems with the falling simply into the survival strategy is that it actually creates an additional danger, which is the failure to be able to take advantage of opportunities. That sometimes you start to fall behind, then you're not prepared. Or there are actually ongoing opportunities that are there that are being missed. And then there's a lack of either preparation or ability to take advantage of them. So to take advantage of the opportunities, this is where the issue of vision comes in. Frequently in times of crisis, vision disappears. People are only looking at the short term, and they are reacting and being reactive instead of proactive. So leadership is always about proactivity. And that means to be able to take advantage and find the opportunities. this guy from Volvo, for example, was saying, okay, now that they'd reduced their workforce, now they really need to have a leadership. Now they've got to move forward with what you have, and that's going to take creativity and, in particular, vision.